everybody. I hope everybody's doing great tonight. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend. Happy summer. It's a great day here in Michigan. Nice and warm. It's getting a little bit overcast and cloudy though. You know, it's just one of those things. It's not that big of a deal. I just came over from Mindy's live and she was still going. She was trying to finish up her painting before she finished up. So I would assume that maybe some people are going to head over after her live is over with. So, but we'll hang out for a while, just us, and see who else pops in. So tonight you can see I'm working on my train, the Scenic Steamer from Dreamer Designs. Now, I have not touched this in 2 weeks. I have not touched this since 2 weeks ago Saturday on my live. So I have not diamond painted at all. I have been I've been a crocheting fool. That's all I've been doing. So I haven't gotten anything done. I feel bad that, my progress has been so minimal. But I appreciate you guys all being here and spending your evening with me. How's everybody doing tonight? What are you up to this weekend? Let me just say hi to you, everybody who's here so far. Nancy's here, first of all. Hi, Nancy. And Joe. Deborah's here. Oh, she's got me on her phone and Mindy on her iPad. Now that's got to be something. You got us like in stereo. That's funny. And my other Joe is here. Hi, Joe. And Jennifer's here. Hi, Jenna. And Jennifer and Margaret. Hi, Margaret. I did not miss you this time. I saw you right there. I am so sorry I missed your comments last week or 2 weeks ago. April's here. Hi, April. And Dawn. Hi, Dawn. I hope you guys are all, you're crocheting away too, Jennifer? That's awesome. Are you still working on the project you were working on yesterday? What were you making yesterday? I don't remember what you said you were working on. I don't remember what you said, but I'm working on that bedspread, the water lilies bedspread with the crochet thread. And I swear that project is going to take me like a year. So let me tell you what happened with that. So my husband, I've mentioned this before, he works for the city of Saginaw here in Michigan, and he is a supervisor for the water distribution and sewer department with the city. And he has to be on a rotating on-call schedule. So he's on call for 1 week out of every month. So if there's a big water emergency, like a water main break or something like that, he gets called in. Well, he got called in at 5 o'clock Thursday morning, and he did not get home until 1 o'clock Friday morning. So he worked like for 20 hours straight, and then he had to go right back into work at 6 o'clock Friday morning again. Anyway, so I started a new panel because they're hexagons for this water lily crochet bedspread. I spent the entire 20 hours that he was gone at work on Thursday starting a new hexagon. And I worked and worked and worked and worked on it. I had 20 hours worth of work into it. Then on Friday after our crochet live, I continued to work on it. Got to the next section where I needed to join the flower petals together. Started joining all my flower petals together, and it didn't work out right. And I looked back and I realized that way in the center where I began the hexagon, I had miscounted and put 10 popcorns when I only should have had 9, which means I had 20 petals instead of 18. I had to take out more than 20 hours worth of work and redo it. Do you ever do something like that and you're so upset with yourself that you can either cry or laugh? And I just sat there in my chair laughing hysterically because I was so disgusted with myself. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. Oh, she did finish it, Sherry. Okay, cool. I'm glad. Oh, Brenda's here too. Hi, Brenda. Oh, Nancy, you're kitting down customized bookshelf. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, Brenda, are you in the hospital again? Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I hope that you get to feeling better soon. I hope you're going to be okay. Jennifer said she's made a beach bag yesterday, right now working on the July gnome. Oh, yeah, that gnome blanket. Yeah, the one that Mindy started but gave up on. I think she got like 2 of them done, 2 months worth done. But you kept at it. Good for you. Good for you. I can tell that this bedspread idea is going to be, because I'm not going to be able, you know how I am, I'm not going to be able to work on it exclusively because I'll get bored. But I figure I worked pretty steadily on the first hexagon, and it took me about 3 days to finish it working on it steadily. So I figure if I can make a hexagon a week, just in mingling in other projects, if I could make one a week, it'll probably take me about 2 years to finish this bedspread. So it's going to be like the project of my life. Oh, hi, Tammy. How are you? Yes, that's fine. I totally understand. Pocket Roddy's here. Hi. And Sean. Hello, Sean. And I already said hi to Sherry. Sherry's here. And John. Hi, John. Yes, cry laughing when you have to frog that much. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hi, Marianne. How are you? Oh, Sean, cross stitch projects? Yeah. I started a new cross stitch project 2 weeks ago, and it lasted all of about 50 stitches. Yeah, I got about 50 stitches in, and then I sat it to the side and said enough, because it's a gorgeous kit. I got it from 123 Stitch. It's Luca S. I don't know if you know that brand, but it's a Christmas train with Santa Claus and stuff, and it's a counted kit. And I didn't realize it when I purchased it, or maybe I did and, had grandiose plans for myself, or thought I was more awesome than I am. It's 18 count, and it's full coverage, and it is 11 by 17 inches finished. It's 300 by 200 stitches. So yeah, full coverage. So I started it, and I was like, this is gonna take me years. I guess I'm in a habit lately of starting projects that are gonna take me years to finish. Especially at the rate I work on them, right, Joe? Joe knows how I am. Especially like this, I haven't worked on this in 2 weeks. I have not touched a diamond painting. These are the first drills I have placed in 2 weeks. And I was sitting in the living room waiting to come in here, waiting for Mindy's live to start so I could come in here and work on this. And my fingers were just itching to get some drills on my pen and get diamond painting, just because it had been so long. I don't think I've ever gone this long. Since I started diamond painting, I don't think I've ever gone this long without diamond painting. So yeah, so this is all I've got done. And I haven't even sectioned this off. This was still just sitting here from last time. Yeah, April, it's called frogging because you rip it when you make a mistake. Hi, Judy, how are you? Yep. Frogging is the worst. The worst. So I got to tell you all about my trip. So I haven't talked to you guys in 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since I went live. So last Saturday I took the weekend off because my husband decided that we should go on this awesome romantic getaway. And now Jeff and I used to try at least once a summer to do a trip, just him and I. And, take a weekend or, a few days during the week and either go camping or, go see a concert, stay at a hotel, do something just the two of us. Well, we haven't done that in the past 3 years. We haven't done it since before COVID. And so he had this idea that he wanted to do that. And I thought, well, that sounds nice. Okay, yeah, we can do that. So in our relationship, and I don't know if all relationships are the same way, but in our marriage, in our family, I'm the cruise director. In other words, vacations, trips, everything, I do the planning. I decide where we're going to stay. I decide what we're going to see, where we're going to go, what we're going to do, where we're going to eat. Um, I make all those plans. So I'm used to being the cruise director. Well, on this one, I let Jeff be the cruise director. And he didn't decide until maybe 4 or 5 days before he wanted to do this that this is what we were going to do. So he decided that he wanted to go up to a little town up in northern Michigan called Leland. And in the town of Leland, there's a little segment of the town called Fishtown. And I didn't know what Fishtown was and never heard of it. And so I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. We can, do whatever you want. You want to make a reservation or whatever? He's like, no, we'll just drive up there and, we'll find some place to stay. Roadside motel or, whatever. Well, if you know anything about Michigan, you know that it is in the summertime, especially along the lakes, it is a vacation destination. It is very, very busy. So I had my doubts that we were going to be able to find anything, but I'm a good sport. I'm up for a good time, and so I said, sure, whatever. We'll just fly by the seat of our pants. And so we head off on Saturday morning to go up to Fishtown, which is a 3-hour drive from our house. So it's right on Lake Michigan, gorgeous, gorgeous scenery, right by the sand dunes, very beautiful area. We get to this little teeny town and it's absolutely packed with tourists. Not a hotel to be seen, not a motel to be seen, just packed with tourists. So I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be a little bit more difficult than I think he realizes. Well, at least I had the foresight because I knew that this was going to be an issue. So I told him before he left, I said, you know what? Why don't you throw the tent and a couple sleeping bags in the car just in case? Just in case we can't find a hotel, there's going to be a State Forest campground, the kind that are rustic that you just pull in and find a camping pad and stay the night. And if worse comes to worse, that's what we'll do. And he disagreed with me, but he did it anyways. And so he packed it up and he said, no, we'll be able to find something. We'll be able to find something. So we go to Fishtown, and Fishtown took us all of like 10 minutes to walk through it. It was really cool. It was neat. What it was it was a working fishing like village. It was right on the inlet, on a canal inlet from Lake Michigan, and you could do fishing charters from there. They had, a fish restaurant. They had little shops, but it was very, very small. It was all like a boardwalk, and all of the buildings were like wooden clapboard siding. It reminded me of something you'd see like on the East Coast, like in Massachusetts or something, like, Cape Codish or whatever. In my mind, that's what it reminded me of. So we did that in 10 minutes, and then I was like, okay, what are we going to do now? So I had looked up and I had found that in the area there were 3 yarn stores. And so I decided that we would just go yarn store shopping. So we ended up ultimately in Traverse City. And I've lived in Michigan my entire life, and I've never been to Traverse City. So we went to Traverse City, and we went to the yarn stores, and we went out to lunch and walked around downtown, got some ice cream, went into some shops. And it was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We had eaten lunch late, so we weren't hungry, ready to go out to dinner. We decided, well, we should, try to find a room. So there are plenty of hotels in Traverse City because it's a very touristy area. Plenty of hotels there. Guess how much the cheapest hotel was for us to spend the night? $489. $489 for a room for the night, when we were just going to get up and drive back home the next day. So we were both tired because we had left the house at like 8 o'clock in the morning anyway. And I was like, I'm kind of fine to just go home. Jeff's like, yeah, me too. So we ended up driving the 3 hours all the way back home. It was fun. But we had a good time. We had a really good time. Hi, Anita, how are you? Jennifer, you're the cruise director? You craft in the car? That would, I don't know, that might make me sick. Hi, Judy. Oh, jokingly, no, April, for real. It was $500. You know, with taxes and resort fees, it would have been well over $500. I mean, we could have. He actually considered it, and I was like, Jeff, really? I mean, think of all the craft supplies I could buy with $500. So then we're driving home, and we got almost all the way home. Got off the expressway where the speed limit's 75 miles an hour, and got onto the state highway, and I slowed down because the speed limit changed from 75 to 55. I slowed down, but then Jeff and I were talking and we were laughing about something and just chit chatting, and then I saw a Michigan State Trooper, and I looked down at my speedometer and I was speeding, and I was like, oh shit, you know, because I just wasn't paying attention. I wasn't purposely speeding. I was talking, and I was used to going fast. You know how it is when you get off the expressway and you're used to going a certain speed, and then you've got to slow down by 20 miles an hour and you feel like you're crawling. I had just accidentally sped up and didn't realize it. So, of course, he turned around and pulled me over, and I ended up with a speeding ticket, which absolutely sucks. Sucks so bad because here in Michigan, when you get your first speeding ticket, and I think it's if you're over a certain age. I think if you're under like 27, a speeding ticket's a speeding ticket, and there's no way out of it. But once you get a little bit older, you can, if you have never had a speeding ticket before, you can take like a class, an online driver safety class, and they will take the points off your license. So it'll make it look to insurance like you didn't get a ticket. I think you still have to pay the fee and everything, but it just looks like you didn't get a ticket for insurance. So, unfortunately, I already did that the last time I got a speeding ticket. So, so we should have just spent the $500 on the room, because we're inevitably going to end up spending more than that in insurance premium increases once my insurance finds out that I got a speeding ticket, and once I pay the ticket, which I'm sure is going to be well over $100. So here we were thinking we were going to save some money, and we didn't. It's going to cost us in the end. That's what you get for trying to be frugal, right? Should have just stayed up north. But one good thing that we saw on the way there, and I talked about this yesterday in our crochet live, they had, on the way there was a campground that we saw that had canoeing trips right from the campground. And I love to canoe. Jeff and I used to canoe all the time. In fact, I have a funny story about us canoeing. And so we decided that we were going to take Nate and his girlfriend, and we're going to go do a 3-day canoeing trip the beginning of August. It's not going to be on a weekend, though, so I won't have to miss a live. We're going to do it on like a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's just because the river is less congested with fellow Canoetians. My friend Jenny and I came up with that name to call canoers. We call them Canoetians. So there'll be less fellow Canoetians, and we can enjoy the nature of it a little bit better. And also we want to get to do some fishing while we're canoeing too. The river, the Muskegon River that it's on, has really good opportunities for fishing. So it'd be a lot easier if there weren't a lot of traffic on the river. I saw a picture. I think it was on Facebook. Someone took of one of our rivers. I think I talked about this before. It was canoeing and tubing river here in Michigan, and it was the entire span of the river was just totally congested with people. I don't like doing it like that. Right, April, that's 5 diamond paintings. Oh, you diamond paint? Oh, hi, Tammy. How are you? How's the new house going, Tammy? Hi, Jody. How was the Fiber Festival? Yeah, Dawn, she's the girlfriend now. She now when I say girlfriend, he doesn't argue with me. So I'm thinking that, you know, yeah, she's the girlfriend. And it's been like a year that they've been hanging out. So yeah, she's the girlfriend. He started high school marching band this last week. Um, they had their first practice, so that's really exciting. I can't wait to go to the games, the football games, and watch him play in the band, and go to the homecoming parade and watch him march. That'll be really fun. Nate's never done any sports or anything, so this is like his first, extracurricular activity. He did do taekwondo when he was a kid, but this is his first like school affiliated thing, so it's pretty exciting. We had to buy him special shoes for marching band that were only available from a certain place, so that was a little bit ridiculous, but we got those, so he's good to go. He's ready to go. I think they get fitted for their uniforms next week. Then the week after that, they have marching band camp all week. It's not an overnight camp. They just go all day, Monday through Sunday through Friday, all day, and then they have a performance on Friday night for the parents. Oh, Tammy, you know what? I was telling my daughter Maddie. We went Monday. Maddie and I went to we went to Hobby Lobby because I needed to get some more crochet thread, and then we went out to a yarn store in a neighboring city so I could get our passports and tote bags for the yarn crawl that we're going to next week. And she rode out there with me, and I was talking to her. We were talking about speeding tickets, and I was telling her that when I was young and pretty, I could always talk or cry my way out of tickets. But now that I'm old and haggard, that doesn't work so well. I can't, it doesn't work as well at all. I don't have the skills I used to have, or the assets, I guess. I remember one time I was working at City Hall. This was before I went to the police department. I was very young. I was probably 22, and I used to have to wear business clothes. So I had this suit. It was a blazer and skirt set, and it had it's hard to explain. It was a blazer, and then it was like a scarf thing that went around my neck. So I didn't wear a shirt underneath the blazer because the scarf thing came down along the breast of the jacket and covered, my boobages. So I was running late for work because I always was running late for work, and I hadn't put the scarf part on yet, and I was speeding, and I got pulled over, and I was so nervous about being pulled over that I forgot to remember that I didn't have the scarf thing on yet. So the guy pulls me over, and I had to bend over into my glove box to get my insurance and registration and whatnot. And he ended up not giving me a ticket, and I was so excited. And I got to work and looked over on my passenger seat and saw my little scarf thing sitting there, and realized that probably the reason I didn't get a ticket is because my breasts were hanging out, and I had given him just the full shot of me and my bra. So, but those assets aren't as appealing as they once were. You know how that goes. Years go by and gravity happens. Gravity just happens. You're loving it, huh, Tammy? That's awesome. I've seen your pictures by the pool on Facebook. It looks really, really beautiful. It looks really nice. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. It would be hard to move across country. Jeff and I have talked because we have his sister and brother-in-law live in just outside of Nashville in Franklin, Tennessee. And we have talked, and I love the area that they live in. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And I love the weather down there. And, you know, and I miss them, to be honest with you. They have 2 boys, my nephews, who are just amazing kids. In fact, Trevor, my nephew Trevor, was in my live when I was at the retreat that one night. And so we've been talking, and Jeff's parents are here, and my parents are here, but I have a feeling that if we moved, Jeff's parents would move. And so we've been talking a lot lately that once Nate, you know, grows up and moves out and has his own life, that maybe we would consider relocating down there. But it would be hard. It would be hard to make a cross-country move like that. It would be, I don't know. It would be definitely a change, definitely, because I've never lived anywhere besides Michigan my entire life. And I'm starting to really, really, you know, here it is, we're at the end of July already, and that means we've got basically a month, maybe less, left of summer. And it seems like summer just started. I mean, we get so little actual good weather here. And then I feel like I'm squandering it because, you know, I feel like wasteful. Like if I'm sitting inside crafting, I feel like I'm wasting my good weather by not being outside enjoying it. In fact, Jeff invited me to go fishing with him tonight because, you know, we have the pond, and so we fish in the pond. He caught a huge bass last week in the pond, so he's and it got off. We catch and release anyways out of our pond, and we don't eat bass anyway, but it got off his line before he got it all the way into the shore. So he has been on a mission to catch that giant bass again and get it all the way in. So he wanted to go fishing with me tonight, and I'm like, Jeff, it's Saturday. I have my live tonight. I can't go fishing with you. But yeah, I had told him when we were going, you know, up north last weekend to take the fishing poles, and he's like, no. Then we get all the way up there, and he's like, oh, we should have brought the poles. I'm like, yeah, you think? Hey, Sue, how's it going? Oh, thank you, April. Thank you. Hi, Marion, how are you? Hi, Sue. Lisa needs help. She's at Walmart and need diamond painting glue, but they don't have it. What kind of glue can I... Yes, Mod Podge will work. Yep, absolutely. Move to Washington. I should move to Washington, Jody. That would make it... That would be a lot nicer. I'd be a lot closer to you. Or I should... I could just move to Canada. I could just move in with you. Oh, Margaret, your brother lives in Franklin. That's cool. Isn't Franklin beautiful? I love, especially the downtown area. I love Franklin. It's so pretty. Such a nice town. My favorite place to go downtown, and I don't even know if it's still there. I haven't been there in a few years now, is the Franklin Tea Company. It's a tea shop, and they sell the most delicious tea. I love like spicy teas, like cinnamon teas. They have one, and It's called something weird, and I can't for the life of me remember what it's called, so that's probably useless information to you. But it's really, really good. All of their teas are very good. They have a blueberry tea that's to die for. I really like that one. Yes, Lisa, Eileen's will work. Absolutely. Oh, I bet you're missing your kids, Tammy. That would be hard. Oh, that would be awesome if you moved there. That would be so good. Oh, Lisa, I hate that. I've had that. The thing that I found worked best for my places where the stuff isn't sticky anymore is the Eileen's tack it over and over because it stays sticky. It doesn't dry. I had that when I don't know if you guys remember, but when I was working on that big Josephine wall from Diamond Painting Deutschland, I spilled something on it and I lost my sticky in like a big section of the canvas, and I bought some of that Eileen's tack it over and over, and it was great because it stayed sticky for as long as it, a extended period of time. Yeah, well, Jody, why don't you organize a West Coast retreat? Do it. I know Tammy and I had talked a long time ago about doing a Pacific Northwest retreat. But then she went up and moved. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, you know, we'll see how this Michigan one goes, and if it's not too much, yeah, I would still be down for that. Definitely. Exactly, Sherry. Tack it over and over. Do not move to Washington. One of the highest economies to live in. Yeah, I can't handle that. I can't afford to live where I live. Oh, Mod Podge does the same, Tammy? Okay, good to know. Good to know. Really, Margaret? Yes, Lisa, it does say tack it over and over. Yep. Moved to Texas for 8 years, Margaret. That's a long time. Yeah, I probably would miss my kids. But I don't know. Maybe they would come. Now, my daughter Emily did move to Nashville, but she didn't stay very long. She missed her family too much. I'd say they were gone less than 8 months before her and the girls came back and moved back in with my ex-husband. And they're still there. That's been just about, gosh, it's been over a year now, I think. And they're still living with him, so it's going pretty well, I guess. Thank God they're not. I mean, I love my grandkids and all. Don't get me wrong. I love them to death, but I don't want to live with them. And if that makes me a selfish, horrible person, then so be it. I don't think I could do it all again. And I'm just being honest. I just don't have the patience anymore like I used to. Tammy, I didn't know your husband was Canadian. That's interesting. So is he still a Canadian citizen? Very interesting. I told you about my aunt who moved to Australia and became an Australian citizen. So I didn't know if he changed his citizenship or if he's just here and living and working. I don't know how that works. I'd go to Canada too, Margaret. I love Canada. Canada's beautiful, especially where Jody lives. Oh my gosh, the pictures I have seen from where she lives, absolutely gorgeous. Oh, Margaret, that's really nice that you got to come home that often. Yeah, that's really nice. I know my sister, when she was married to her first husband, they moved to Phoenix for, a little over a year. And that's where she had my oldest nephew. And it was really difficult for her when she had him to be out there, without any family support. So my mom and I went out there once by myself to help her out right after he was born. And then my mom and I went out again when she decided to move back home. And my mom and I flew home with the baby, with my nephew, while her and her husband drove the U-Haul back across the country to move back to Michigan. Now that's someplace, I did a lot of sightseeing while I was there. It's one of the 2 times that I've been to the Grand Canyon and I've still never seen it. And I'm sure I've told that story about how I've been to the Grand Canyon twice and never seen it. But I did get a chance to do a lot of sightseeing both times I was there. And there are some beautiful, beautiful areas in Arizona. But Phoenix is not one of them, in my opinion. I don't know that I would be able to live someplace with so much brown. There was just not enough green in Phoenix for me. But there are people who are into the desert and the, you know, uh, what is that called? Like scrublands, and, it does have its own beauty to it. But I guess I'm just so used to Michigan and forests and trees and rivers and lakes and everything that would be hard. That's why if I moved, I would have to move to some place that had, something similar nature-wise, like Tennessee or Virginia or someplace like that. And Colorado, I think, is, also very beautiful, but I don't know, isn't that a high cost of living also? That's one thing I got to keep into consideration is, being retired, I'm on a fixed income. I don't ever get a raise. So wherever I live, I got to stay within my means. You know what I mean? Jelly bean. He's a Canadian citizen with alien resident status. Okay. All right, cool. Oh, that was a great. You guys should watch that documentary that Jody's called. That's called Island Sea Wolves. That was a really, really good documentary. Tammy, that's funny. I can't even imagine taking a small child to the Grand Canyon. Yeah. I the first time I went, I was visiting my sister in Phoenix. I had rented a car and I decided I was going to drive to the Grand Canyon, which is like I want to say a 6-hour drive from Phoenix to the Grand Canyon. I don't 5-6 hour drive. Um, at least it took me that long, if not longer, because I stopped in what's the ghost town? Prescott. I stopped in Prescott and did some sightseeing there. And then I stopped in Flagstaff and I did some sightseeing there. And I also stopped in Sedona and did some sightseeing there. So it took me a little while to get there. I had left very early in the morning. And so I drove and drove and drove. I'm in the middle of the desert and just driving and driving and driving. And I finally get to the Grand Canyon. And about 20 miles before I got there, the sky around me turned into pea soup. It was so foggy I could not see my hand in front of my face. So I parked the car, this rental car, and I'm standing on the edge of the lookout or whatever, the main lookout point of the Grand Canyon, and could see nothing. Could see absolutely nothing. And it was so funny. So there were some tourists there because they were like on a tour bus, you know, so it was like a scheduled uh, tour thing. So they didn't like account for the weather either. So I asked one of them to take my picture as I was standing there because I was by myself. And they looked at me like, take a picture of what? But I had them take my picture anyways of me standing there looking into the fog. And then the other time was when Jeff and I got married. We got married in Las Vegas, and we had also rented a car, and we had gone to the Hoover Dam. And, we were already, quite a ways out of town from Las Vegas to go to the Hoover Dam. So we had considered driving to the Grand Canyon. And somebody had mentioned that, there's I think an east entrance and a west entrance, or a north entrance and a south entrance. I can't remember. One of them is the main entrance and one of them is the not so main entrance. And somebody mentioned that you could get to the not so main entrance from the Hoover Dam in a reasonable amount of time. So we were like, yeah, what the heck, let's go for a drive. So the lady in the gift shop gave us directions on how to get there. And so we drove and drove and drove on this little 2-track road in our rented Mustang convertible, dirt road, winding through the base of these canyons, or the base of these mountains, and it was an adventure. It was an adventure. So we get all the way there, and all of a sudden we're surrounded by guys in pickup trucks. And we're like, what the hell? What did we do? Well, we didn't know it, but that access to the Grand Canyon is actually on an Indian reservation. And they owned that land. And in order to actually see the Grand Canyon, the only way you could see it was a helicopter ride from their little reservation airport there. And just at that time, the sun was setting, it was almost dark, and we opted not to pay the $200 and some that would have cost to go on the helicopter ride. And so we were there, but we didn't see it. Again, so I've been to the Grand Canyon twice, never seen it. Oh, that's nice, Jennifer. You go swimming every day at the lake. That's awesome. Yes, Sedona is beautiful. It's very pretty. My mom and I, on the other trip we went to, my mom and I went to Sedona again, and we spent a little bit more time there than I had the first time that I went through. And we did some, hiking trails and stuff, and it was very, very pretty. And then we also, when my mom was with me, we went to, I think it's called Oak Ridge. Does that sound right? It's a forest, but it's right near where Slide Rock is. Have you ever been to Slide Rock? That was cool. So we had no idea that we were going to be seeing Slide Rock, and we just, we saw the sign, the park sign, and we're like, oh, let's check it out. So we go there, and there's all these people, and they're all sliding down the rocks on this river, and it was just like a giant water slide. It was so cool. Well, we hadn't packed bathing suits or beach towels or any clothing. We were just out on a little day trip. But Angie decides, because I am the jackass that I am, I decide that I'm here. I'm probably never going to be here again in my life. I need to try it. So I slid down that river in my clothes, soaking wet afterwards, no towel to dry off with, and got back in the car, soaking wet, and we continued on our trip. I used to be fun. Or crazy, I guess. Oh, Virginia Beach is beautiful. I like Virginia Beach. Yes, the Hoover Dam was very, very cool, right, Tammy? I loved the Hoover Dam too. Um, but we made, did you, when you went there, did you make dam jokes all day? Because we spent the whole day making dam jokes. Took the dam tour, went to the dam gift shop, ate at the dam cafeteria. I guess I was at the Hoover Dam twice. Now that I think about it, I went there once with my one year. My girlfriend, 3 girlfriends, and I went on a ladies' trip to Las Vegas, and we went to the Hoover Dam that time too. But I think we did. Are there different tours you can go on at the Hoover Dam? Because the time I went with Jeff, the tour we went on, we actually got to go inside the dam, like down into the bowels of it, like down in an elevator, and got to go to see where all like the turbines and everything are and the generators. And I don't remember doing that when I went with my friends, or maybe I had just been drinking too much that week and I don't remember it because, like I said, it was a girls' trip. That was a funny trip. My friend Susie, she went through a little phase where she was a little bit of a klepto. And like I still have a pair of salt and pepper shakers. We were at Olive Garden. And at that time, my kitchen was decorated with like grapes and grape leaves, which was, that was like a fairly popular theme back in the early 90s, I think, for kitchens. And so I had, grape leaves and grapes on my valances and on my wallpaper border and, dish towels and all that stuff. And they had grape and grapevine salt and pepper shakers. And they were really cute. And so we're sitting there at dinner, and I had said, oh my gosh, these would match my kitchen so perfectly. And so we eat our dinner, and we get in the car, and we're leaving, and we're going home, and Susie pulls out the salt and pepper shakers out of her purse and hands them to me and says, here, I got you these. Like, are you kidding me? You stole the salt and pepper shakers from Olive Garden? So, but I still have those salt and pepper shakers. That was probably, oh God, at least 25 years ago. So they've held up well. And then one time we were at Outback, and she thought they had really nice steak knives. And we left, and she had a couple of steak knives in her purse. And then so we're on the plane going to Vegas, and it was the 4 of us ladies, and we're ready to have a good time. We're in our mid to late 20s. We're ready to party, and our flight out was early-ish in the morning, but we're ladies on a trip to Vegas. That the time on the clock didn't mean anything to us. So we got there early at the airport, and so we obviously, what are you going to do when you get to the airport early? We went to the airport bar to have a few drinks. So we had a few drinks before our flight, and we get on the plane, and Susie finds this magazine in the seat back in front of us, and I don't know what was in there that she was so interested in. But she like looks at me with side eye very surreptitiously and slides this magazine into her bag, into her carry-on bag. And just as she's doing so, the announcer comes on the intercom and ding! Thank you and welcome to United Flight 352 service to Las Vegas. Please feel free to help yourself to the magazines in the seat back in front of you. And you should have seen the light just like drain from her eyes because, she was so excited that she was going to be swiping it. But then when it was free, it wasn't as exciting. She was funny. Funny. So South Rim, Pocket Roddy. Okay, South Rim. Gotcha. Boulder Dam? No, where's Boulder Dam, April? Beer jugs and silverware. That's what you steal, Jody. Hey, Mindy, how you doing? How were your hot dogs? Jeff tried to feed me hot dogs tonight. I shot it down. I was like, no, we're not having hot dogs. Sorry, gross. That just didn't sound good to me. We have it, we have a summer menu in our house. And I think that we're getting poorer because we used to always, once a week on Fridays or Saturday nights, Jeff would always cook us steak and shrimp on the grill. And for years and years and years, that was our routine. Once weekly, we had steak and shrimp on the grill. Well, Jeff does all of our grocery shopping, so we must be getting poor because our steak and shrimp nights have decreased to probably once a month instead of once a week. I think, and I don't think we're getting poor as much as the prices are just going insane for things. Just insane. For groceries and stuff. I mean, it's crazy how much groceries are costing anymore. Oh, you have brats. Okay. I don't like brats. Brats give me heartburn. I like the taste of them, but they they give me the burps and heartburn. Just like sweet bell peppers. I love the taste of sweet bell peppers, but they make me burp so much that I don't care for that aspect of it. Ugh, I gotta do more ABs, you guys. I just got done doing a whole bunch of green ABs, and now I gotta do more ABs. Oh, congratulations, Mindy. I heard that you did finish your painting. That is so exciting. I love that feeling. Love, love, love that feeling. I didn't tell you because we haven't talked today. And I was telling everybody earlier, my second hexagon for my bedspread, I spent about 24 hours, not continuous hours, I did sleep, but 24 total hours on my second hexagon, only to get to a certain point and realize that I had miscounted in the first round, and I had to frog the entire thing and start over. 24 hours of wasted work, I realized last night. It was crazy. It made me actually laugh. I actually laughed out loud to myself. But yeah, Mindy mentioned it in her live, but I want to make sure I mention it as well. The Mingle in the Mitten retreat. We are getting very, very close to opening up registration for that retreat, which is going to be May 2nd through 5th of 2024, and that will be in at the Double J Resort in Rothbury, Michigan. It will be open to 40 people, and the registration will be first come, first serve. So the first 40 people will get in, and then we'll start a wait list and go on from there. But I'm thinking that it will be probably within the week. We've got to iron out just some very last final deals. But registration will be going up probably in the next week or so. So keep an eye out for that. If you didn't hear about that, if you weren't at Mindy's live, she talked about it too. So I'll have information for it on my channel, and so will Mindy. And then I'm assuming we're also going to post it in Mindy's Facebook group, Diamond Moments and Crafts. If that's not correct, Mindy, you can correct me. But yeah, so keep on the lookout for that. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be really fun. Going to be just nice and relaxing. I can't wait to do. I'm going to actually conquer my fear and do the horseback riding. So we're going to have horseback riding if you want to. That's going to be optional. And I think I'm going to do it even though I'm scared to death of horses. For some reason, I've always been scared of horses. I think it's because their faces are so big. And they can look at you at eye level, and their eyeballs are so big. I think it's their eyeballs that creep me out. Their eyeballs are too huge. I'm going to go with that. Oh, Hoover Dam and Boulder Dam are one and the same. That's interesting. Oh, no. Oh, Tammy. Well, they do have sweet faces. I'm not saying they're not beautiful. They are. I mean, horses are very beautiful. They just, in real life, they frighten me. But I'm going to get over it. I'm going to get over it. I think it's because as a kid, my parents took us horseback riding one time. And I got bucked off the horse that I was on. And I landed right on my tailbone. And it hurt like the dickens, in the words of my grandmother. And I think it was that experience that kind of made me a little bit afraid of them. And I think it probably just wasn't a horse that was used to kids, or maybe it was a horse that wasn't used to being ridden, because it was like at a friend's house. It wasn't like a professional riding place or anything. So, maybe the horse was inexperienced and I was obviously inexperienced. But they said, this place said that they have horses for every skill level. So even if you're, a beginner, they have a horse that will be calm and tame and well trained. And I'm really looking forward to that. It'll be really fun. Overcoming my fears. And everybody can laugh at me. Everybody can laugh at me. So, what else is going on? There was something else I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I don't remember what it was. I was thinking about it when I was watching Mindy's live, and now I've completely forgotten the story. I got, you know what? That's classic Angie. I get off on, my stories have side stories. And so when I get off on my little tangents, then it's hard for me to find my way back around to the point. And then I forget my point. And then I'm pointless. So I was supposed to go up to Houghton Lake today for my dad's 70th birthday party. And we didn't make it up there. Jeff was on call, like I said. Jeff's on call this weekend. So he wasn't going to be able to go, because he has to be able to respond to those calls within 45 minutes. And it's about an hour and a half drive up to where they live. So Nate and I were going to have to go on our own, but I suffer from vertigo, bouts of vertigo. And I had some vertigo last night, and I don't like to drive if I'm feeling, if that's been like close, you know what I mean? I don't want it to happen while I'm driving. So to be on the safe side, I didn't want to get on the highway today with my kid and, put him and me and everybody else in possible danger. So, but it passed. It, usually does fairly quickly. I haven't been having a problem with it for quite a while, so I hope it's not rearing its ugly head again, because that can be miserable. It can be very bad. Ooh, you want to swim with sharks, Jennifer? Yeah, they're just a big animal. You're right, Joe. Just a big animal. I know, I need to get over it. That's what I figured. I'm almost 50 years old. It's time for me to get over it. Joe, do you ride horses? Are you a horseback rider? Are you a cowboy? Jennifer wants to swim with sharks. I have swam with dolphins. I have swam with dolphins twice. One time, because I've told you guys before that I always took the kids on spring break to Florida. So down on the Atlantic coast of Florida, um, just I'm trying to think of where Marineland is. It's at a place called Marineland. They have dolphins, and you can swim with the dolphins. And it's like a closed controlled environment, like an aquarium type thing. And I don't know. I mean, with the way this was several years ago, and I don't know if they even do it anymore. But the one time we went with my mom, and we got to swim with the dolphins, and then another time if you guys ever go to the amusement parks in Florida, one place that I would highly, highly, highly recommend going above any other amusement park is oh my gosh, now I'm having a total brain fart of what it's called. It's fairly new. It's run by SeaWorld, but it's called Discovery Cove. Discovery Cove. If you ever get the chance, go to Discovery Cove. It's expensive, but it's well worth it. You pay an expensive admission price, but they limit the amount of people who can come in every day, so that you get like the most interaction with the animals. And it's also all inclusive. So they feed you breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's all you can drink, and that includes adult beverages. They have like daiquiri stands and margarita stations and wine bars and everything. So all you can eat, all you can drink all day, and you get to interact. They have several different sea life interaction experiences. They have like a reef where you can go snorkeling and snorkel with all kinds of different sea creatures. And then they have dolphins where you a dolphin encounter where you get to swim with dolphins and feed them, and actually not when I say ride on one, you don't actually ride on it, but you hold on to its dorsal fin, and then it like swims and like drags you. It's very fun. It was really cool. So Nate and I did that a few years ago. Oh, Joe, that happened to you too? Yeah. Oh, Margaret, you get vertigo too? It is scary. Vertigo is a very scary thing. And I got it for a while, and this was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I was getting it very frequently, and to the point where I couldn't stand to have any lights on. I had to be in darkness. I had to sit with my feet planted on the floor. I couldn't stand to have the television on or anything. I had to have quiet. And it just feels like, to me anyway, if you don't exactly feel dizzy, but you feel like the world is like spinning around you. And I can remember times when I would have to like crawl to the bathroom because I couldn't stand. It's a scary thing. My daughter Emily had a professor in college who had vertigo really bad, and they had to like at the beginning of the semester like show everybody what to do in case he had a bout of vertigo while he was in class. Oh, Jody used to ride? I didn't know that. Well, aren't you fancy? It was, Jennifer. It was really fun. If you ever have a chance to go to Discovery Cove, I mean, I would go there before I would go to Disney World or Epcot or Universal or any of those. Discovery Cove is where it's at. It's really a neat place. and it's gorgeous. They have an aviary where you can go in with all these exotic birds, and the landscaping is just absolutely breathtaking. It's just tropical and lush, and it feels like you're in a different country. It feels like you're in a tropical rainforest. I mean, it's really fun. Of course, it was like 100 degrees the day that we were there, and it was very hard to walk. We burnt our feet walking on the sand and stuff, so that was a little bit tough. I'd recommend water shoes if I were going to do it again. You know, something you could walk around in and then still wear into the water. But it was weird though, because you were swimming with um, the animals, you could not bring your own sunscreen. So they had all of these sunscreen stations set up everywhere that was a special kind of sunscreen that wasn't harmful to the water, you know, that wouldn't, you know, go into the water and be harmful to the animals. So that was really, yeah, that was weird. Everybody lining up at the sunscreen station. But it was really a nice place. You felt like a VIP. Like everybody felt like a VIP. And because they limited the amount of people that could come in per day, it really made for a special experience. Ooh, Tammy wants a skydive. No way. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. I don't. You know, I'm sure the doing is really, really fun, but I don't think that I could. I don't think that I could push myself to make the jump. I think if somebody pushed me out, like, it'd be fun while it was happening, but I don't think I could willingly force myself out of a plane. Now, I did hang glide. I have been hang gliding. That was fun, but it was with somebody. I was attached to somebody else. I didn't do it by myself. So, kind of the same thing. Somebody pushed me. Oh, you used to figure skate too? Figure skating, you know who's actually this is an odd thing about my husband. My husband is a very talented ice skater. Like, he can do all kinds of spins and backwards and all that stuff, and I don't know where he learned it. But he's also, because he's not a dorky guy, but he's not like a super cool dude or anything. He's just a normal working guy. He's a very good dancer. He's got some killer dance moves. And that surprised me about him when I first met him. We were one time we were out for one of the very first times. We were at a bar and there was a band playing, and I was, chair dancing or whatever, and he's like, "You want to dance?" And I was thinking, oh great, I'm gonna get up and this guy's gonna be so embarrassing or whatever. And we got up and danced, and he was really good. He's a better dancer than I am. I mean, not that I should be on, Soul Train or anything, but. Oh, Paul bungee jumped in in New Zealand. That's cool, Margaret. I bet that was beautiful background. I don't think I could bungee jump either. I'd be afraid that the thing was going to snap. Hey, Cal. Oh, really? That's interesting. Everybody has to use a special sunscreen. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was. Because you were snorkeling in the coral reef or whatever. And it was really neat because my favorite thing when we did the snorkeling was the, what are those things called? Stingrays. I loved the stingrays. There were some stingrays that were, I swear to God, like 4 to 5 feet in diameter. And you'd be snorkeling along and they were so friendly. They would just like come and swim right under you and like rub up against your legs. or against your, bottom of your stomach or whatever. They wanted the interaction. It was really weird. They were definitely my favorite when we were snorkeling. And I think they must have removed the stingers or something, because I mean, there were no warnings or fear of being stung. Um, but the thing that made me think of that was you saying about swimming with sharks, because they had this artificial coral reef in it, and they had all of the, the stingrays and all the different tropical fish and everything in there. And then as you'd snorkel along, you got to a point, as the water got deeper and deeper, and there was a barred off area. So the water, continued through the bars, and the fish could swim through there, but obviously people couldn't. And after those bars, there actually were sharks. So technically, you were swimming with sharks, but maybe they couldn't get to you or anything. Oh, Tammy, you've bungee jumped too? You're crazy. New Zealand would be a really cool place to visit. Yeah, it would be a really neat place to visit. So is anybody watching anything good right now on TV? I have to tell you what I'm doing lately on television. I am the person who I will rewatch a series that I've already watched, and I will watch it from start to finish. I'll start with season 1, episode 1, and I won't watch anything else until the season is almost over, because you guys all know that I don't watch the last episode of anything because I don't want it to end. I don't want to lose my good friends. So I will, but I'll watch the whole thing, and I won't interrupt it and watch anything else. So right now I am rewatching Grey's Anatomy, and I have been rewatching Grey's Anatomy for about 2 weeks now. I'm on season 13 out of 19 seasons. So I've got, what is that, 6 seasons to go. And so I'm on the lookout for my next watch. So if anybody has watched anything good, I'd love to hear about it. You're an adrenaline junkie, Tammy? Heartland. What's Heartland on? What channel is that? Or what streaming device is that on? Or service? Because I don't think I've heard of that one. And something with 16 seasons, I'm down for that. I like to make an investment. Oh, you have the perfect frame for your gnomes. That's awesome. Mindy has so many frames. She has, I believe you have the perfect frame for your gnomes. She collects frames, I swear. And it's a good idea, to just pick them up when you see them, like garage sales or thrift stores or anything like that. Oh, it's on Netflix. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, Grey's Anatomy is awesome. It's funny because when I first started rewatching it, and I remember feeling this way when I watched it for the first time, Meredith Grey really, really, I was irritated by her. Like, I thought she was just annoying as hell. Just like, me, 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 just, she irritated me. But as this, I don't know if it's that I'm getting used to her, and her narcissism, or if her character has changed over the seasons and she's less annoying. But she's a little less annoying now than I used to find her in the beginning of the series. Oh, 3 seasons with. Okay. Homeland. Oh, Sweet Magnolias. I saw that. That looks good too. I can give you a code, Mindy. I can be one of your kids. Oh, Heartland's in several places, Joe? All right, I'll have to check that out. I'll have to talk to my TV because I have a Fire Stick, so I can tell my TV and it'll give me options on where I want to watch it. We got rid of, you know what happened to me, and this has never happened in the history of Amazon. I've been an Amazon user from as far back as I can remember. I let my Prime membership lapse because I changed banks and I didn't update my payment method for my Prime membership, and so I don't have Amazon Prime right now, and it feels so weird that like it's something that I thought I could never live without. You know what I mean? And it does feel weird because even things like paper towels and stuff, sometimes you can get them cheaper on Prime. And so, I'll be like, oh, I could just order that on Amazon. Oh, wait, no, I can't. It's just a weird feeling. Oh, you're right, Joe. They did crack down on that. You're right. I remember. You know who else did that is Hulu. Because Maddie and I used to share a Hulu, and I went to go on it one day, and it said something about it's already been designated for a home device somewhere else. I got a drill that fell, and I can't unplug it from my canvas. There we go. It's stuck. I gotta get these nails off. Does anybody know how? Okay, I made a silly decision. I went and got my nails done before the retreat, and I had gel nails put on, and now they're growing out. See how they're growing out? And I am not a frou-frou girly girl, and I'm not up to the task of maintenance as far as going and having them filled every however often you need to do that. So I just want to take them off. Does anybody know how to get them off other than just peeling them off and peeling half my nail with them? Because I've done that before and it hurts. It like peels off the top coat of your nail when you do it. And I don't want to do that. It was a bad decision. Yeah, Mindy, did you finish your flip-flops? Oh, no, she didn't. See, I knew she wouldn't finish them. I guess technically neither have I because I haven't woven in my ends. I should have just done it. When I had them, I could have done it so easily. But I didn't have a needle there at the table with me, and so I didn't do it. They did turn out very cute, though. I guess if I would have went to the party today, I would have done it so I could wear them. Maybe tomorrow. We are supposed to go out to my mom's tomorrow, and Jeff can come with us out there because he can be, back in town. My mom only lives about 20 minutes farther out of town than us. And Jeff, when he's on call, he has an hour to respond. So we can go out to my mom's, and then he can just leave us there, and I can get a ride home with my sisters, one of my sisters, if need be. But we're supposed to go out to my mom's tomorrow to shoot guns. If that is just not the most redneck thing you've ever heard. But they have like a target area out in the field, and we get together, all the sisters and their kids once or twice a year to go out and just target shoot and stuff. So we're supposed to do that tomorrow. And if I haven't felt any more vertigo all day, but if I did, I certainly wouldn't be shooting any guns, obviously. But Nate's really excited about it. Oh, Margaret, you're still sharing? Interesting. Oh, wrap them in acetone. Okay. Oh, hi, Deborah. I didn't see you there. Sweet Magnolia based on the Cheryl Woods book series. Yes, I believe it is. Oh, Mindy answered you. Cotton balls in a freezer bag, add nail polish remover, place the bag in a bowl of hot water and soak and rub against the cotton. That sounds like a pain in the ass. Cheery. I should wear the flip flops with my shoes. Okay, Mindy, that's it. On Wednesday, when we go to the yarn crawl, I'm going to wear my flip flops with my crocheted shorts with my crocheted top that I made last summer. My tape, in fact, I thought it was in here. Oh, it isn't. Shoot, I thought it was right in here. My halter top that I made last summer. That'd be dead sexy. I would look phenomenal. Everybody would go running for the hills. I thought it was, it was one of the yarn crawls that we did last year, and maybe it wasn't this one. Oh, I think it was the other one. We had a bingo card for prizes, and you had to fill out, certain squares on the bingo card, and one of them was if you were wearing a hand knit or hand crocheted item. And so I had worn one of my tops that I had made, so I got to fill in that bingo square. But for this yarn crawl, they don't have that. It just is you turn in a slip for prizes based on how many stores that you visit. So, and I think there's either 10 or 11 stores. I can't remember now if there's 10 or 11. But yes, I should wear my shorts. That'd be adorable. Okay, good night, Lisa. All right, Sean, yes. I will. Yeah, Mindy can wear hers too, right, Tammy? Mindy's never going to wear those shorts again. In fact, maybe she'll frog them and use the yarn for her scrap yarn basket that we're about to make. That would be funny. We should have gotten a picture, just a regular picture of us both in our shorts. But I don't think Mindy wanted any photographic evidence of that. So the fact that it's on video is probably bad enough. Yeah, we had Taco Bell for dinner tonight. It was yucky. It was awful. It was horrible. Sometimes Taco Bell really hits the spot, and other times it's just like, ew, what did I just put in my body? Jeff was supposed to make burgers on the grill, but then Nate wanted him to go to the store to get some tape. Nate just finished making with his welder, he finished making a weapon of some sort. It's like a sword slash axe slash cleaver type thing. It's not a real weapon. It's a decorative weapon, but he needed to get something to wrap the handle in, some sort of tape or something that he's going to wrap the handle with. Oh, Jody, that sucks. You only got a ticket to enter for a prize if you bought something. That's a bunch of BS. I know Mindy and I last year when we went to the yarn crawl, what it is you would have to get your passport stamped at every store that you went to so that you could enter for the prizes. And so the first few stores that we went to, we both felt like, are we obligated to like buy something so we can get our things stamped? And then after a while, we realized we're not going to be able to afford to buy something at every single store. So that sense of obligation wore off after a while. Especially some of those places. Oh my gosh, you guys. Wait till you see the yarn that I got when we went up north last weekend. We went to a yarn store in Traverse City that was from, the yarn was from an alpaca farm, where you could actually go visit the alpacas. And the yarn has the name of the alpaca from the farm that it came from. So you know, yeah, the name of the animal that your yarn came from. But it was the most expensive hank of yarn I've ever purchased in my life. And I'll show you guys that next week when I do my yarn video. I have everything all set up and ready to go. I just need time to film it. Yes, Mindy was a good sport, wasn't she? Oh, Kaden's here. Oh no, I was hoping Kaden wouldn't show up. I know, shame on me. Shame, shame, shame. I got 2 new pens at the retreat, and I'm still half-assed not unpacked from the retreat, and I can't find where I put them. And so, yes, I'm still using my same ugly pen. And I was thinking that before I went live. I was like, oh, if Caden sees that, he's going to be mad at me. Oh, Caden just celebrated a birthday recently. If anybody didn't wish him a happy birthday, saw that on Facebook. Sugarcane yarn. Interesting. Okay, bye, Tammy. Softest thing you've ever touched. Is that the brand, Jody? Sugarcane? Or is it, what kind of yarn is it? Where did you get it from? We need more info. I love the softest yarn I've ever touched. I still say the softest yarn I've ever touched is the stuff from Expression Fiber Arts. I believe it is called the Mirage. Mirage, yes. That's the softest yarn I've ever felt. Yeah, speak of the devil, he'll show up, right? All right, you guys, I think that I am going to get going now a few minutes early and let you guys go. It's just a couple minutes early. But I didn't drink any wine tonight. I had wine too. I even brought the bottle in here and everything. And look, I didn't even pour any. My belly's been acting up, and probably eating Taco Bell for dinner didn't help. But we got this wine up. There's a lot of wineries up near Traverse where we were last weekend. So this was a wine that I got up there from the Leelanau Cellars, a Riesling. So we'll have this next week. But it's a local wine, so I'm really excited to try that. But didn't get to it tonight. Letting my belly take a rest. So, okay, thanks, Jody. Yeah, send me the website. I'd appreciate that. Happy belated birthday to Caden, and thank you guys all for hanging out with me tonight. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next week. And remember to keep your eyes peeled for that retreat registration information that's going to be coming out soon. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, everyone.